My name's Blake Manley. I'm a teacher at Sweet Home High School in Forestry and Natural Resources. We partnered with the Mid-Valley STEM CTE Hub to bring you this exciting episode. So join us as we shadow professionals working in their everyday job. In this episode, we go to Oregon Freeze Dry in Albany, Oregon. We will be learning from those that work at the facility how the freeze drying process happens. This episode is full of lots of science and technology in action. This product is used in many applications, from the military to emergency uses all around the world. So join us as we explore many careers right here on Manly Job. Today, we have ground beef, diced tomatoes, and tomato paste as the main ingredients. Workers carefully measure each ingredient before adding them together. Today, everybody, we're cooking spaghetti. The first step in this process is actually cooking the food. Several different hard-working employees are involved in this first step. All the ingredients are cooked before being freeze-dried. After all the ingredients are mixed together and the cooking process is started, another worker prepares the noodles. Once the noodles reach a specific temperature, the valve is opened and the noodles are released. After the spaghetti is cooked and the sauce added, it is placed on a tray. Here we see a crew working hard to make sure the product is evenly spaced out on each tray. The crew shakes the tray for even distribution. This is a vital step in the process.
Alright, right now we're doing spaghetti with meat sauce. We also do products like pasta primavera, mac and cheese, lasagna, chili mac. We do everything upstairs and then they drop it in these pots to come down to the rock cave. But right now we're focusing on spaghetti. It takes anywhere from like 7 to 10 minutes to tray load all the product. It's about 1,000 pounds of product that we're tray loading.
Now that everything is loaded on the trays, it's time for the next step. What we see here is one of the many rooms that they have to keep the product safe, cold, and ready to be freeze-dried. But why is it in this room before it goes into the next room?
So once we put it in here, now it's on the cold room 3 operator's task to come and check temps. So at 60 minutes, it has to be 80 or below degrees before we can actually put it into the cold room.
Once the spaghetti is at 80 degrees, the high standard of quality has been met and it moves to the freezer. The freezers here are set to 25 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. It has to be that cold in order to freeze the entire food on each tray. This is really where the magic happens here at this facility. There's lots of different jobs and different parts. But Carrie kind of explained to us why this is the most important part here.
This is what the company is all about. We freeze dry. It's not dehydration, it's freeze drying. We take a cart from the cold room, it's frozen product. We pull a vacuum, turn the ammonia on it in the plates, it's negative 50 degrees. Connect the arms to the cart, and its glycol goes through the cart, and it gets hot. The vacuum is about 49 miles above sea level, and we add a ton of heat to it. It starts to sublimate, and sublimation is where it goes from a solid ice to a vapor back on to the place that's solid. When we add heat to the product, the moisture wants to go someplace, and it goes to the coldest place in the chamber, which would be the plate. The plates have ammonia going through them, and they're at negative 50 degrees. The structure of the product does not change. We lose no vitamins, minerals. All we lose is water.
Once they start the process of pulling the food out, you have to remember this chamber was at 49 miles above sea level and it was extremely cold. So in order to bring it back to our atmosphere, they push a few buttons and it's just like as if the shuttle was coming down out of the sky. It's coming down, and that takes a little bit of time, about 7 minutes. Kerry's next step is to check this product for quality. He takes samples from random trays to check for moisture.
And anything that I find suspicious, I'll grab it and I'll put it in a bag. If I break it and it breaks in half real easy, it's another effect that it's really dry.
The main thing that he's checking for is the moisture. Both moisture of the federal regulations that they have to follow and moisture of what the facility expects. So what you'll see is every single time a cart comes out, they're going to check this to make sure that it hits the standards that they're expecting. This facility prides itself on keeping those numbers as low as possible. The 2 batches of beef passed the moisture test. They were way below the 1.5% moisture limit required. Now that the freeze drying has taken place, all the food must be removed from the trays. All the food has to pass through the metal detector. The crew put different types of metals to make sure the machine is working properly.
So after Kerry brings in the dried product, we always start from the bottom going up, pulling out the tray. As we pull out the tray, we take a quick look at it just to make sure there's no foreign material, that the product looks dry and everything looks the way it should. Then we'll go ahead and put it into the hopper. It goes down to the hopper, gets metal detected, and then bagged. Once we put it into bags, we'll put the bags into a poly bag going tote. Once they've been full and we've ran all the product, we will put a lid on top and take it out to the scale and weigh it. Once it's been weighed and totaled, we'll go ahead and put it into the chamber aisle for pickup by forklift.
Because this facility is huge, it is the job of the forklift operator to transport the product into the packaging side.
So you can see here I've got staged off to my left is the breakfast skillet. This is the hash brown, the peppers, the onions. Off to my right, I have staged over here only my batches of the scrambled eggs. Are very careful on mixing up our product. We're very careful on the nutrient facts and upholding all those standards that we carry. So out of the hopper, the scrambled eggs comes and down onto the fastback. This fastback has got a setting of an amplitude. Keeps it shaking and vibrating a certain kind of way, getting the exact consistent same amount through. Off of that fastback, you can see it's going down into the funnel, right into our Ishida. That Ishida is what weighs, what disperses, it's what does all the hard work for us.
With ingredients ready, the packaging process starts. The magazine feeds the pre-made pouch to a barcode reader. The machine opens the pouch to be filled with the ingredients. Then the O2 packet is added. The next step is to clean the top of the pouch. These pouches are sealed using 2 heating stations. The sealed pouch is then cooled and dropped to the conveyor belt. The product passes through the metal and O2 detectors. After that, it goes through a weighing station and is finally packaged by the final inspector. The conveyor belt takes the product to an automatic taping machine. The robot automatically arranges the product on a pallet. The worker then takes the product to be wrapped and ready for transport. Another product they produce here are emergency meals.
This is called a 15-day kit. We got beef stroganoff, scrambled eggs, chicken dumpling, lasagna, and granola for this kit. Something simple and easy they can take in their backpack, add water to it. It lasts a very long time. That's why you see emergency meal on there. It's good for up to 30 years. Very compact, very light, and we only need water.
So these are the cases that are going to be used for the emergency meals. It's going to go to the case erector, then onto this little belt, to this little roller track where they're going to be putting all the product in. And then each product's going to be checked before they get put in a case and weighed. Then they'll be sent to this tape machine. They'll get sent on this roller track. They'll get a code. We'll check the code, then we'll put it on this pallet. If it's right, next box.
Next, we see MRE breakfast for our military. These ones are blueberries and granola.
This machine is capable of running 50 pouches a minute. So inside the top of it, we got what's it called, dispersion table, where it weighs it. It sends it down to a radial feeders, into a pull hoppers, a weigh hoppers, and a booster hoppers. With all 16 scales, they add up. They pick and choose which one is the best combination for the weight to go in the pouch.
This is the bar tail machine. We're running military granola and blueberries. The webs form by top, bottom, side seals to make our pouches. We have milk that comes from upstairs. We have a certain amount of product that needs to go in each component in the pouch. We have O2 observers as well. They actually come into the pouches. That's what keeps our product fresh. And then we have the sheeta that feeds granola and blueberry from the top, and it comes into the pouch. After that, the pouches get sealed on the top, and then get dropped on the metal detector. And this metal detector is here to check, to make sure that each pouch that comes off the line actually has an O2 observer. If it doesn't have an O2 observer, it rejects it. So this is what keeps our fresh product. And on the other side, we have a checkware that checks every single pouch. And then here we have a crew that are flipping pouches to make sure they're checking seals and codes at the same time. And then we have 2 people that are putting 60 pouches on each case. And after that gets weighed, we have a weight scale that actually weighs the pouches to make sure we have 60 pouches. And then we put it through the tape machine that goes through a belt that has coders that will give us our code and will show us the date, and then we stack it on the pallet, and we have a QC person that verifies our product and then releases out to USDA.
Chance to see so many great jobs in this episode. From those that clean the rooms, to those that supervise, from those that start by cooking the product, all the way to those that package it. We got to see so many people working so hard. Those men and women are the backbone of this great product. Right here is where all that magic comes together. From backpackers and archery hunters to the men and women in the military, Mountain House has something for everyone.